All right, guys, let's dive in. So, uncovering limiting beliefs. Your first step to working through and processing a limiting belief is to start to uncover the limiting beliefs that you're carrying around with you. So, I'm going to offer you guys some suggestions, some journal prompts, some areas that you can dive into that will really help you to identify your limiting beliefs. And then for this practice, I recommend that you pick a specific limiting belief or a specific topic. So, for instance, right now you might be experiencing a limiting belief around stir crazy. You might be experiencing, oh, I'm not going to be able to recover from this. It might be that you desire to process out some fear or some anxiety. So, to prepare for this limiting belief practice, I want you to find a comfortable spot. I want you to have a notebook or a document up on your computer, something to write with, something for you to make notes as these messages start coming up for you. I also really like to set the intention of my space when I'm doing any of these personal practices. As some of you have seen in my videos, I always have a candle burning. I also always have some sort of space clearer next to me. So the reason I set the stage and create my space with a candle is that I have embedded the NLP practice of Circle of Excellence into my candle. And so what that is I've really set the intention and I've deposited energy into this candle so that when I light this candle, it becomes either a live session. I step into my coaching persona. I step into this space where I can channel and open up, and everything that I'm saying feels really aligned, and how I'm delivering messages feels really aligned. And so that candle is so much more than just the fragrance and the lighting of it. It then saturates out with my intention, with my alignment, with my power, with my confidence, with my eloquence, with all of these different ingredients that I have mixed together to bake that cake of feeling strong, feeling powerful, stepping into the coaching individual that I am, my perfect facet, the deep confidence, the strong belief, the ability to say exactly what it is that I desire to say, to deposit that message in a way that really aligns with the individuals who are listening to me. So I have done an entire practice to get that candle into that space so that when I sit down, I can take a few conscious breaths, place my hands on my physical body, light my candle, and I'm in that energy. Then I also will light my Palo Santo, and then I will clear myself. So I will release anything that no longer serves me, anything that doesn't serve me in this coaching or practice space, anything that I'm carrying with me, any lower vibrations, and I will clear that out before I get started for anything. So I would encourage you to find a comfortable spot, set the intention and set the space, and then have something to either write with, write on, or have, a page open on your computer so that you can take notes. So, really take some time to sit with yourself and honor your feelings. So, a great way to do this is to put your hands on your physical body. So, I really like to work with the heart space, especially for us women. The belly space is a really powerful area to connect with. So, often we're told to kind of present our stomach in a very specific way. So, relaxing into the belly area and the second chakra area is a really profound practice. I also will sometimes work with my third eye and stimulate that a little bit. But putting hands on the body, relaxing, breathing into the hands, and then asking yourself a series of questions. Asking yourself a series of deep inquiries that might allow these limiting beliefs to come up for you. So I'm going to offer you a couple different suggestions of questions that you can ask. For instance, you can sit with yourself, take a few conscious deep breaths, and then ask, in my perfect scenario, or in my perfect world, or in the perfect experience, depending on which topic you're relating to, finding the language that really suits you. In my perfect situation, what would be happening? What would I be doing? What would I be saying? And what would I be feeling? So after you ask yourself that, you'll start to either hear things, see things, feel things, get a sense of things. You might have to consciously start to paint that picture, but allowing your mind and your energy to start taking you down that road. In a perfect situation, in a perfect world, in a perfect scenario, what would be happening? What would I be doing? What would I be saying? What would I believe? And what would I feel? We'll start to go into this expansive state, a higher vibrational state around what it is that you'd be doing if everything lined up for you. If money wasn't an issue, if signing the clients wasn't an issue, if doing exactly what you desired resulted in the desires that you wanted, what would be happening? What would your truth be? As you start to paint this picture, consciously, as you start to open up and allow your subconscious and your gut and different parts of you to speak to you, if there's something that comes up that is then limiting, a little voice, a sensation, a feeling that says you can't have that, you can't do that, this is why it won't work. For instance, if we're talking about why clients won't purchase that or clients won't sign on for that, or maybe the market is saturated, or right now everyone's in panic or fear. They're not going to be spending money, or people aren't going to desire that thing, or you're not certified or educated enough, or you don't have enough experience, or you haven't been doing this for long enough. A lot of those things that come up are going to be limiting beliefs. So I really want you guys to allow yourself the practice to place hands on the body, get deeply connected to yourself physically. Start to breathe with conscious breath. So one of my favorite conscious breath practices is in for 3, suspend for 3, and then out for 4, and then I move it to 5, then I move it to 6. I will also practice the side breathing where you can breathe in through one nostril and out through the other nostril, and covering your nostrils is a way to support that. But allowing your breath to become conscious, placing hands on the physical body, and then asking yourself the question, if anything were possible, if my ideal were here, if I knew that I could succeed, if I knew that it would work, what would my situation be? What would I be saying? What would I be doing? And then make note of the negative things that come up. Make note of the limitations, make note of the roadblocks, make note of anything that pulls your expansive energy back down and asks you to play smaller, to choose a smaller dream, a more achievable dream. Whatever those feelings are, then I want you to write those down. I want you to type those out. I want you to make note of those. That's one way of identifying limiting beliefs, is to follow that practice, placing hands on the body and asking yourself to call up, to picture, to envision, and to feel into what your ideal situation would be. And then making note of the negatives or the limitations or the roadblocks that you come up against. For a lot of us, we probably already have a list of limiting beliefs that we'd like to work through. So another way to kind of pull your limiting beliefs out of yourself is to allow yourself to journal on a specific topic. So for me personally, when I was really doing my deep dive into shifting limiting beliefs around money, a journaling practice was even better for me than placing hands on the body and asking my ideal scenario. My ideal scenario felt so far out there that my limiting beliefs didn't creep up as easily. But when I started to journal out what were my fucked up money stories, what were, stories or memories that I had around money that didn't feel expansive, that didn't feel uplifting, that didn't feel like a high vibration, that was a practice that was extremely profound for me. And it allowed me to really find a bunch of limiting beliefs that I had. So if there's an area of growth, an area of ambition, something that you'd like to achieve, have, be, do, and you want to see what limiting beliefs you might have that are stopping you in that area, I would consider a journaling practice that asks you this question: what is standing in my way? What experiences around this topic present a roadblock or a limiting belief for me? What comes up that tells me I cannot have, be, or do whatever my desire is? And then free write around that. So, for instance, around money, you might write, what are negative things that I believe, I have seen, I have heard, I have felt into around money? What was the first time that I felt like I didn't have enough money, or I compared myself to someone else who had more money or achieved something that I wanted and I connected it to money? Are there any stories that maybe my mother or my father, family members, society, school, places that I grew up or were exposed to that tell me what I can or cannot have in regard to money, success, a specific job, certain promotions, a successful business, and really just allow yourself the space to free write and start to purge these memories, these experiences out onto the paper. This is a great way to identify several limiting beliefs. The first time I did the money practice for myself, I got 17 pages of fucked up money stories and experiences around money that didn't feel expansive and didn't feel powerful. So, I have given you guys two amazing practices for how to get those limiting beliefs from the inside to your external reality so that you can start to work with them. The placing the hands on the body, getting really deeply relaxed, really connected, in and aligned with your energy, and then asking yourself to envision, picture, experience, and feel what your ideal situation is around your desire, around your goal, and then making note of the limitations that come up or purging them out through a journaling practice. If you guys have specific questions about your topic or how to phrase that question or how to create that visualization process or what your specific journal prompt would be, feel free to tag me in the Hour in R private Facebook group and ask me any questions about that.